It was the season premiere of Monday Night Raw last night. Did Charlotte walk away with the Divas Championship? And Sting actually wrestled on a Monday Night Raw? We'll talk more about that on this week's Monday Night Raw review, powered by Google Hangouts. Hey, Rick and Lance, you guys ready for the hot tag?
Yep.
Then it's time to warp.
What's up, guys? This is Victor Morbius here. Face paint or no face paint, you're still watching WGS-TV.
Greetings, YouTube. You have worked your way into another episode of WGS-TV right here on youtube.com/WrestleGamer. I am the Russell Gamer. Don't be feeling Bujo. Today is Tuesday, September 15th, 2015. And I'm going to talk about the season premiere of Monday Night Raw. Let me go ahead and introduce the panel for this week's review. First off, ladies and gentlemen, he is the host of Hardcore Wrestling Radio, the Hardcore One himself, Rick Head. Rick, how you doing?
Well, you know, I'm doing good. Always glad to be here on WGS-TV. And I got a question. What the hell is the season premiere of Raw? Because Raw, it's not like it takes a break. It just keeps on going.
You got a point there. Definitely got a point there. And ladies and gentlemen, he's our resident music mogul over on youtube.com/LanceMossTV. He is the incomparable Lance Moss. Lance, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm going to get Fast and Furious 7 after we get done with this review.
A good one right there. A good one. Well, anyway, with the opening promo, we're going to start with that. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon coming out to basically, hype up the season premiere and the fact, and to make a huge announcement of Sting versus Big Show for later on in the evening. And gotta say something about that, Rick. Having Sting wrestle on a WWE Monday Night Raw is huge in its own right. Regardless of what match it is still his first match on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, you know what? I have to agree with you. I know we're kind of jumping to the main event, but if you noticed, they even made reference to Big Show and Sting, who did fight in WCW, and I really had to give them a thumbs up for that.
And not only that, but they were WCW World Tag Team Champions at one time.
Yes.
So
they do have history.
Yeah. So it was interesting to see that. But speaking of tag teams, we'd start with the New Day coming out. First off, what in the blue hell was Triple H and Stephanie McMahon doing with New Day?
I don't know. Like I said, after I saw that, I needed to smoke a joint.
Yeah. Rick, my question is, did they get some stuff from you before they went to Memphis or something?
I have no comment on that.
Well, anyway, it's New Day defending the Tag Team Championship against the Primetime Players. It kind of went the way I expected it was going to be, with New Day retaining. For the one sole reason, Lance, is the fact that the Dudley Boys have the winner of the match at Night of Champions, and I think it would be more sense to have heel team versus face team rather than face team versus face team, considering the fact that the heat they've been building between the Dudley Boys and the New Day.
Yes, there's one thing that can make this match for Night of Champions better. Because there's not a match on here that has a stipulation. Put this one as a tables match.
I would like to see that.
They've been talking about tables all this time anyway with this angle, so why not?
You definitely got a point there. Paige and Sasha Banks would be match number 2. I gotta say, like, Paige, this probably supersedes any Bella match, anything with Alicia Fox, Tamina. Well, not Tamina in her own right, but this was by far the true definition of what women's wrestling needs to be and should be at this level. And it's a shame that WWE and Vince McMahon's been thinking with his other little head, rather than the head on it here. And it's been something I've said for a long time on here, Rick, that good in-ring female talent cannot hurt the product, it helps the product. As I think we lost, I think Rick might have left, I'm not sure.
No, I'm right here, and I kind of have to agree that it has helped the product, although I have to say, we've kind of seen these two go back and forth a few times, Sasha Banks and Paige. Great match. But it's after you see it happen 2 or 3 times, it becomes a little bit of choreographed and really, really scripted. And despite a couple of good spots, it's like watching a rerun.
Yeah, and honestly, I felt it was a little overshadowed by what Divas title match later in the night.
Now, with the MizTV segment with the Wyatt family, how many of you guys out there caught Mrs. Botch? Let me explain. When Miz was being confronted by the Wyatt family, he was saying, "Don't worry, Wyatt, don't worry. I am not Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns' partner at Hell in the Cell."
I didn't catch that.
I caught it.
At Hell in the Cell, he said, "Oh my God."
Yep. So there was.
He's the Miz, and he's an idiot.
Yeah. So I just figured we'd bring that up, and the whole point of it was to put over the match, and they will also make the announcement that Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose have a partner, but I guess we'll probably be waiting until the Night of Champions to find out.
Corbin.
Yeah.
Sorry, a little cold.
No, John Cena versus Sheamus, and one thing I want to make perfectly clear: we're all in our right to have our own opinions about John Cena, whether we like him, whether we respect him, or whether we hate him. That's really kind of irrelevant. You cannot deny the fact that he entertains, and not only does he entertain, but he also entertains with good matches, and he had that right there with John Cena and Sheamus there, Lance.
Yes, he did, and I've said this many times. I criticize, but I will give it credit where credit is due.
Yep, definitely. Cena would hit the AA on Sheamus to pick up the victory. In this one, we were supposed to have a match with Stardust and Neville, but the way they did with this segment is they had the Ascension come out with them. It's basically all just a big setup for their kickoff match to set that up. Neville and the Lucha Dragons taking on the Cosmic Wasteland on the kickoff show. Would that be worth watching? Maybe, because sometimes last time I saw Neville on a kickoff show, his matchup was more entertaining than half the card, and I think that was
that don't sound too good for us.
Yeah. But anyway, on to the Divas Championship match, Nikki Bella and Charlotte. Yeah, that was my twin sister in the background, by the way. Was it heavily predictable? Yes. But, yeah, sorry about that. But the thing is, this was all to set up Night of Champions, and with the backlash from on social media that I have seen, Rick, it's just absolutely, I don't know how to describe some of the comments that I've seen. I don't know if you've seen it, but I've seen a lot of derogatory comments about Nikki Bella breaking AJ Lee's streak, and a lot of conspiracy theories that keep spinning off from it.
Conspiracy theories, I have a few myself. One, the fact that if she wasn't banging John Cena, I don't think she would have had it. Another personal, if you ask me, the only reason why Nikki Bella really won is because they wanted to spit on AJ Lee. And, you can say what you want, but WWE is very, very vindictive. Once someone leaves the company, they have to say, make them not even relevant anymore in every shape and form.
Yeah, but to follow this, guys and gals, the setup for Night of Champions, it's going to be a rematch, Nikki Bella versus Charlotte, but the championship's advantage is out the window.
Yeah, exactly. But, I mean, it was so obvious that she was not going to get the title. I said even a week before, once I heard it, I'm like, yeah, she ain't going to win the title. She'll win, but she won't win the title. And lo and behold, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, but now come Night of Champions, it could be a different story.
Yeah, and then that's it. That's where, if you ask me, which later on tonight we're gonna have our picks live. I honestly think she will win the title.
We got Cesaro and Rusev up next, and I gotta say, last time we saw this match, this was really, really good. Now, the way this one would kind of pan out, it was kind of odd. Lance, if you saw that Dolph Ziggler on the outside, there's somebody over here, so that's why I'm trying to keep my voice down so I don't disturb them. Ziggler would come out and apparently give a gift to Summer Rae. My initial thinking with that it was going to be a gag gift, because the only reason that he would be out there would be to provide the distraction for Rusev and Cesaro using what somebody called like a hammerlock roll-up combination to pin him. And then we would see backstage, it was kind of like a legit gift. I mean, where are they going with this?
That's a good question, and I don't have the answers. Because I thought it was the same as you. It was going to be like some, I don't know, like a little spray bottle or something, like they did with the Money in the Bank briefcase with Ambrose and Rollins. Or like one of those spring things, and if you get in the can, something that says hell. I have no idea on this one.
Right, following up would be the main event, Sting versus Big Show, and again, this is huge in its own right, because if you think back for those of us who actually grew up with the Monday Night Wars, watching, going back and forth between Monday Nitro and Monday Night Raw, to see Sting, who was a cornerstone, if not the cornerstone of WCW, on WWE, not only in WWE, but on a Monday Night Raw wrestling a match. That is, again, huge in its own right, and we already discussed a little bit about that, but what would transpire from this is it would have Seth Rollins interfere, which was kind of expected in my opinion, and then it would lead up into a tag match with Sting and John Cena teaming up to take on Big Show and Seth Rollins, and this was probably in my opinion, a fantastic match, just for the implication of Sting wrestling on a Monday Night Raw. That is huge in its own right. And the way they would pan this match out, it was Sting with the Scorpion Deathlock on Seth Rollins. Rollins would tap out, and Sting and John Cena would be the winners. Now, technically, well, no, not technically, this is the go-home show for Night of Champions, and it's just something I've always got to state on here, that traditional wrestling logic dictates that whenever the challenger goes over on the go-home show, that 90% of the time they don't win the championship at the pay-per-view. But with this situation presents an unusual conundrum because of the fact that Seth Rollins is a double champion, that he holds both the WWE World and the United States Championship, and both of his challengers went over on him on the go-home show. It presents kind of a conundrum because I can't really think of a situation where that's actually happened before. So it's going to be really interesting to see where WWE Creative goes from here when it pertains to that at Night of Champions. Before we go to our overall scores and our picks, we definitely got a comment. Whenever I cover live shows on the Facebook page, I go to you guys out there and give you guys a chance to voice your opinion. Our old friend Yale Vanderdresch is back for a single comment, he says, and I'm going to have to kind of censor this down just a little bit. It says, F this Bella BS. What has she ever done to deserve to be the longest reigning Divas champion instead of dropping the title to a real talent and a real athlete in Charlotte, Paige, Banks, or Lynch? No, WWE decides to straight up F us all in the face with this fearless Bella crap. It kind of sounds like Yale doesn't really like Nikki Bella being champion, and that goes for a good portion of wrestling fans out there, to say the least. But anyway, guys and gals, like I said, whenever I do coverage of any show on the Facebook page, I always give you guys the opportunity to send in your reviews, so that way you have your reviews read out loud, like Yale's just had his review read out loud here on the review. Overall score, Monday Night Raw, the season premiere go-home show for Night of Champions, Monday Night Raw. I'm going to say huge in its own right, just for Sting being there and wrestling a match on Monday Night Raw. And again, you got to look at it from the lens that we have, the lens of the guys who grew up through the Monday Night Wars, who watched the Monday Nitros, who watched the Monday Night Raws, time in and time out, week after week, seeing Sting not only in WWE, but wrestling on a Monday Night Raw match. Again, that's big in its own right. But overall, the show was a bit okay. It wasn't lackluster, a little predictable, but in essence, it was still okay. So that's why it's going to get a 3.25 out of 5 from me. My best match of the night, I'm going to go to the tag match, just for the huge implications and with Sting and John Cena, with Seth Rollins and Big Show. And again, it is with Sting. By the way, for 56, he wrestles pretty good for a guy who's 56 years old. There's no denying that. Worst segment of the night is predictability of the Divas Championship match. We all saw it coming a mile away, you know, regardless of what backstage things that might have happened. And you know, people want to complain about politicking, but I can tell you this right now: politicking happens in the wrestling industry every which way but Sunday. I can tell you that for a fact. I'm not going to disclose any information about it, but we all know what happens. You know, it's happened for years in WCW, NWA, and WWE. So why people today act like they're shocked that there's some backstage politics that's going on in WWE right now really kind of blows my mind. Like, where have you been? What rock have you been under? But, you know, that's the only reason why I put it like that for the Divas Championship match. Rick, over to you. Your overall score and your picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw.
Well, I have to agree with you, Billy, that the show was somewhat lackluster. As far as the Divas title match, a little bit predictable, but I have to say it was the quality of the match was decent. If there was a worst segment of the night, it was Ryback singing. I'm sorry, Ryback, don't quit your fucking day job.
Yeah, I should have brought that up. I don't even know why I skipped that. I probably didn't have that.
It was that bad.
Yeah, I don't even have it in my notes. I do apologize. But basically what that segment was to set up the Intercontinental title match between Kevin Owens and Ryback, and we kind of already figured that was going to be happening when Kevin Owens even mentioned Ryback in a promo on Thursday Night SmackDown. I think it was like 2 weeks ago. So I kind of figured it was heading to that already, and so it wasn't really a big shocker that WWE was going to put them in a match for the Intercontinental title. But anything left from you, Rick?
No, like I said, overall, it was like, I guess I can give it a 2.5. It's not bad, but it wasn't great. You know, I'll even give it a 2.75 to be nice, but nothing spectacular, especially for a go-home show.
And Lance, over to you, your overall score and your picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw.
Well, I'm going to go right in the middle score-wise, just give it a 3. Now, worst segment I got to give to that singing. Hell, the whole promo between Ryback and Kevin Owens.
Paul Heyman sings better than Ryback.
That's debatable.
Yeah, but best match, even though I have a little something to say after I finish this, was the Divas title match. The only reason I was pissed, why'd they have to break AJ's record in my damn town?
I really don't know. I really don't know. But
it couldn't have been Nashville. It couldn't have been San Diego. It had to be Memphis. That's just
heartbreaking for poor Lance Moss right there, guys and gals.
Made me want to drink down on Bill. Worst match. Hell, I don't know.
Yeah, he's all shook up over the whole thing with AJ Lee in his hometown. But anyway, guys and gals, normally we would have a Raw comment of the week to announce, but unfortunately, for some reason, there were no comments last week on Monday Night Raw. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to forego it this week. But like always, if you guys leave your comments in the comment section below with your thoughts on Monday Night Raw, you have the opportunity to be recognized as the Raw comment of the week, and we'll announce it on next week's Monday Night Raw review, which one of you guys will be the Raw comment of the week. But anyway, guys and gals, speaking of that, be sure you put your comments in the comment section below, because we want to know what you guys think of Monday Night Raw. Where can fans check you out on HWR?
Of course, you can always check us out on our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio. And now all of our podcasts are live, and that's over at youtube.com/HWR Show. If you want to be a part of the show, get your asses in there and come on in, because we're not PG rated, and we sure as fuck don't sugarcoat things.
Yeah, I can speak for that personally. Last night in your chat room, Lance Moss.
Shucky ducky quack quack.
Anyway, speaking of you, Lance, what can fans expect to see when they come visit your channel over on youtube.com/Lance Moss TV?
album reviews, NASCAR discussion videos, redneck going maker videos, musical equipment reviews. Every Wednesday, I go live at 7 with Lance Moss TV and Friends. I never know who the hell's going to show up. And hit me up on Twitter at Lance Moss TV.
WGS-TV is on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can also ask me questions. The links will be provided in the description box below. And as always, there will be a couple of videos in the annotations at the end of this video for you guys to check out as well. So with that being said, for the hardcore host of Hardcore Wrestling Radio, Rickhead, and Lance Moss from Lance Moss TV, I'm the Wrestle Gamer. There will be Billy Bujo saying death to ducks.
Ducky, quack, quack.
What are you doing in my farm?
Well, I never. It's a talking pitchfork.
Not from around here, are you, boy?
No, I'm from the 21st century.
I don't ride the record.
Burning sensation in my cheeks. Gwen told me that I should speak with you. I wonder if Gwen is doing this on purpose now.